Yo, what up guys, this is your boy Legendary here, and today people, we're going to be reviewing episode 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. Alright, so this episode is really good. This episode is focused all on Roman. We get some backstory on her, we get to see her first duel. It's really cool, I really like it. This episode also looked very, very nice in certain parts. I think Dylan mentioned in one of his podcasts that one of the animators, I think, from the old Studio Gallup, was in this episode, so that's why this episode looked a little bit more Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, which was really awesome to see an episode in more of a Yu-Gi-Oh!-ish style, like the shading and stuff, and it was really cool. It was very nice. It looked very stunning. But anyway, the episode was very simple. It was the episode started off with Rook basically telling Yuya that Goha had deleted all of the videos of Rush Duels on the internet, on YouTube, I guess. But Yuga doesn't really seem to care all that much, because he's like, alright, well, you know, our dual disc are still has Rush Duels installed, so it doesn't really matter if it gets deleted and whatnot. And Luke is basically curious to see if there's a spy watching over them, and then that's when we see Roman taking a snapshot of them as usual. She's always taking these quick snapshots, you know, when nobody's paying attention, and only Luke really seems to notice or care, I guess. So anyway, Luke is getting super curious about it, and he wants to go investigate because he thinks that she's a spy. Yeah, so we go back to school, and Luke basically tells Yuya that, you know, isn't Roman suspicious, and then Yuga kind of says, she is kind of suspicious. So he gets a flashback to the first episode, I guess, when she was saying, like, oh, she's not really interested in dueling. So then Yuga gets the idea. He's kind of doing his own thing. He's thinking about his own thing. He doesn't really think she's a spy or care about that. He cares about Rush Duels. So he noticed that she is not that interested in dueling. So he's like, okay, you know, his plan is basically, let me get her to have a Rush Duel, to have fun, and then get her into dueling. So that to me seems like it's his objective. It's to get her excited, to get her to start dueling and enjoy dueling, and do Rush Duels and whatnot. So he does this little invention. He goes up to her. It's kind of like a lie detector. So he goes up to her, and she says something kind of sarcastic or whatever, and I guess it was a lie, and then the machine broke or whatever. So then Yuga's talking about his roads, which are his inventions. That's what he calls his inventions. And he's talking about them, and he invites her over to his place, I guess, where he makes his inventions. And there was this funny scene where Gakuto's blushing and stuff, and he's like, whoa, that's really bold, you know, asking a girl over to your place like that. And then Luke is like, ha, nice. So that was just a funny scene. I was like, alright, so, and Yuga's just like, what? Like, he has no malicious intent in that. He's just inviting her to see his inventions and whatnot and get her into Rush Duels. But, you know, guys will be guys or whatever. But anyway, so I just thought that was a funny scene. But anyway, so Roman's interesting, right? Because she seems interested in Yuga's inventions, right? Because he's the one who invented Rush Duels, and she's been like kind of documenting what's been going on here and there, which is interesting. So as soon as Yuga tells her that, yeah, that's where he makes his inventions and that's where he made Rush Duels, she's like, okay, you know what, I'll go. So she's still kind of suspicious. Like, there's still something up with her, but I don't know what it is. But anyway, we get onto Yuka's place. He has a bunch of crazy inventions going on, and he kind of instigates her into doing a duel. So he starts bragging about himself, like, oh, you know, he invented Rush Duels. Oh, it's okay, you know, it's okay if you don't think you can win against me and this and that, you know, I am the inventor and this and that. So she starts getting, like, you know, prideful and mad, like, no, I can beat you if I want to, you know, it's not that hard and this and that. So he's just kind of teasing her, kind of pushing her buttons to get her to want to duel him and you know, beat him or whatever. So it's funny. The interaction between them is actually very amusing. It comes across very natural, and I like Yuga there because he's just messing with her and this and that. So, but Roman reveals that she does not have a deck, so Yuga, or dual disc. So Yuga offers her a spare dual disc and a spare deck that he has. And then she just kind of like freaks out. She's like, alright, fine, I'll do it. So then they go outside, they start dueling, and she puts her guitar case down to duel, and she gets something out of her guitar case, and she puts it in her deck or whatever. And Luke, the whole time, for the majority of the time, while they're dueling, he's like trying to sneak into her guitar case because he thinks that there's a bunch of like secret, you know, like recording devices and stuff like that, because he thinks that she's a spy. So there's just all these funny interactions while these two are dueling, and Gakuto is trying to stop Luke on the sidelines from going into her stupid guitar case, which is really funny. I like the interaction. So he's just like kind of like crawling up on the grass going towards it and stuff, and Gakuto stopping him. And the entire time they're trying to like talk and duel, but you hear them on the sidelines, so they stop and look, and they're like, what's going on? And they're like trying to pretend like nothing's going on, like whistling and stuff. I don't know, it's just funny. I like the interactions. It's very good. The comedy's on point as usual. I really love it. It always puts a smile on my face. It's so good. But anyway, so you know, he's just trying to sneak in while she's distracted dueling. So that happens a couple times. But anyway, that's besides the point. So the duel begins, and she really does not know how to duel. So Yuga basically is like, oh, you know, let me explain the rules for you. And she's like, no, I got the rules. I remember the duels. You start with 4 cards in your hand, and then you could summon as many times as you want per turn. But the one rule she did forget was about tribute summoning for high-level monsters. She was about to summon as many monsters as she wanted, but that's not how it works. She summoned one level 4 or lower monster, and then she tributed that off to summon a level 6 monster. You know, there was a small tutorial part, which was just like explaining tribute summoning, because, you know, if, you know, you control a 5 or 6, if you want to summon a 5 or 6 monster, you have to tribute 1 monster. If you want to summon a 7 or 8 monster, you have to tribute 2 monsters. So I think that's fine though, because that's not a rule. I mean, we've only seen 1 tribute. Actually, no, we've seen 2 tribute summons. No, we've seen multiple tribute summons this whole time. So maybe, I don't know, she's spaced out. I can't tell if she's acting or not. She doesn't look like she's acting. She looked very like genuine in this episode. She definitely doesn't know how to duel. Anyway, we move on. Throughout, at some point during the duel, she's kind of like losing, and then, you know, she draws multiple cards from her deck. She draws enough low-leveled monsters to summon her ace monster, Prima the Guitarist, or whatever it's called. It's probably, I know that's not the name, but I know it's called Prima the Guitar something. So that's her ace monster. Its effect is basically, actually before we get to the effect, so she reveals her backstory of where she got that card, because they were freaking out, because like, Yuga, why'd you add that card into her deck? Isn't this your deck? So she snuck that card in there, and that's her only card that she owns. So apparently her favorite guitarist, her favorite band, her favorite leader in the band, this woman, I don't even know her name, but she was doing a concert, and Roman was there in the concert, and this is her card, the woman who is the leader of that band. This is her card, and she kissed her card or whatever, and she let it go in the audience, and whoever catches it, you know, that becomes their card. So Roman ended up catching it, so that card means a lot to her, because that's like, you know, that's her idol or whatever, and, you know, that's her inspiration. So she kind of keeps that card around as a good luck charm. But she had no interest in dueling, so she doesn't have her own deck, she doesn't have her own duel disc, because she really didn't have an interest in dueling. But she just keeps that card around in her guitar case as a good luck charm. So it has very sentimental value to her, which is cool, because there are people like that. They don't really like the game, but maybe they saw this one card, or, you know, an older brother or someone that they admire a lot kind of gave it to them, and they like the card or whatever, so they keep it around. They have no interest in playing the game, but, you know, they just keep it around because they like it, and it has sentimental value. So I like that. It's very sweet, it's very simple, it was just very nice. But so yeah, so the reason why she just snuck it into her deck, she's like, all right, well, since we're dueling anyway, I might as well, you know, take this opportunity to try to summon the monster in this duel. So she did. So she tributes she summons 3 monsters. She tributes 2 of them to summon her ace, and then she normal summons another monster. Then the Prima's effect is you pay 1,000 life points, and all monsters she controls gains 300 attack for every monster on Yuga's field. So since there's 3, they all gain 900, which is cool. So she goes in, she does multiple attacks. She does a bunch of damage, and then Yuga counterattacks next turn. He pretty much bricks. So I like these moments, because they're doing more moments like that where he pretty much bricks. So he draws like I think 3 or 4 new cards or whatever, and those cards are not what he needs. He draws some weak monsters. He has his 7th magician is already dead because she already wiped it out with her ace. So he's in a tough spot. He activates the spell card that shuffles 3 spellcasters back into the deck. Then he draws 1 card, and he basically bets everything on that one draw. And you know, he's hoping to draw his ace. So then he draws his ace monster. He tributes 2 monsters, summons 7th magician, activates his effect, blah blah blah. You know the deal. And then he wins the duel and he beats her. And that's pretty much it. So I'm trying to remember what happened at the very end there. So Luke pretty much gives up his investigation on her because he realized that she's not she's definitely not a spy. He actually does end up opening the guitar case and see that it's only just a guitar in there, so he feels stupid and he falls back like an idiot. And but yeah, so that's pretty much the episode right there. But at the end of the episode, Roman pretty much says that she still has no interest in dueling, but she's like, oh, but rush duels are really fun, aren't they? And you know, so she had some fun times. She was very charming in this episode. Like there was a lot of, you know, sarcastic quips and stuff like that as usual, because that's what she does. And you know, she has a very nice personality. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. The one thing I'm very curious about with her is we still didn't get an answer or any hint or indication if she's a spy or not. Because yes, she's not really a spy because she's not a duelist. Unless she could still be acting. She could, and she could just be a really good actor. I've known some Yu-Gi-Oh characters that are very good actors, so she could still be acting. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. But my question is, why is she taking all these photos? I don't understand. Like, what is she trying to do by taking these photos, and why is she hiding it? So we still don't get the answer to that as to why she's taking snapshots of them when they're not looking and kind of documenting everything. So she's definitely still up to something, probably, unless it's just for her own personal use or whatever. But I don't think so, because in that one scene that I mentioned where Yuga mentioned his inventions and where he invented rush duels, she didn't want to go over there. She wasn't interested until he mentioned his inventions, and that's where he invented rush duels. Then she's like, okay, you know what, I will go. So she definitely wanted to scope out the area to see what else he has, or to see like how he came up with it and stuff. So it's weird because she's not interested in dueling, but she's interested in rush duels. She's interested in how he came up with it and stuff like that. So there's still something fishy with her. We don't know why she's interested, or why she could still be pretending not to be interested in duels. I don't know. It's hard to say with her what's going on, but I do think her not dueling is genuine, probably because I don't know. It's hard to say because she used her favorite monster in the deck. She put it in there, which makes me think that she's telling the truth, that she doesn't have a deck. But maybe she just didn't want to blow her cover. But if she didn't want to blow her cover, she shouldn't have added the card in there at all. So I don't know. It's very weird. I'm very confused on that. We still don't know if she's a spy or not. So in this episode, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. It's very hard to tell. But the point is, she's documenting stuff. She seems very curious about little things. And we still don't know why. So we still have to wait for the answer to that. But anyway, the episode does end off with one final scene where there is... So at the very end of the episode, there's this guy with blonde hair looking at his phone, and he's looking at the pictures of Yuga from the first episode when he was dueling against Hologram Man. So this is very interesting because I think these are the photos that Roman took, but I'm not sure. Some of the pictures were like taken from the side, which Roman was behind Yuga, not next to him, I think, in the duel. So, I don't know. But the point is, he has some of those photos. So maybe Roman is connected to this new character and is sending these photos that she's documenting and sending it to this character for whatever reason. So she could still be a spy, because it was very odd, unless there was someone else in that room that they didn't notice and that was also kind of recording and documenting things. I'm not sure how those pictures got to that person, but the writers are definitely making us think that maybe it is still Roman that's a spy, because she was the one that was taking photos on that day and every single day. So the fact that this person has it might mean that she's the spy, or maybe she's not a spy, she's just taking it for her own personal thing, and maybe somebody else was in that room on that day taking pictures as well and documenting things. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. So this character that's they're revealing looks like it could be the rival that's revealed in the intro that's looking outside the window, but we don't know yet. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this episode was really good. It was very nice kind of seeing, you know, just the interactions between Roman and Yuga and all that stuff. I love the background stuff that was going on with Luke and Gakuto. Him trying to stop Luke from going into her bag and stuff like that. Just the little moments. Very, very nice comedy. Very simple comedy. It didn't feel forced to me. I just liked it. It just felt natural as usual. I just love the comedy here. I love the characters and their personalities. Also, I just liked Roman, her little backstory, how she got that car and stuff. And, you know, we really got into some stuff today. So yeah, I really like the order of everything. Episode 1 is focused on, well, it introduced everyone, but it was more focused on Yuga and his rush duels. Episode 2 is focused on Luke, and then episode 3 is focused on Roman, and based on the preview, episode 4 is going to be based on Gakuto. So that's great. We're going to get a Gakuto episode next, so now we're going to know a little bit about each character more in detail, and now we know the main cast, and then they're going to hop right into kind of a little bit more of the main story and stuff like that, now that we know the main 4 characters more thoroughly. I'm assuming episode 5 they're going to introduce this new rival character that they just showed us, most likely, or I don't know, something with Goha's going to be involved, because at that point now we know every one of the main characters. There's no one else around to that are confronting them, so confronting the main cast or anything like that. So I'm assuming by episode 5 we're going to start getting the main rival's going to get introduced probably, or someone from Goha is going to get involved and start investigating and this and that. I don't know. Something like that's going to happen, because they're kind of rushing forward towards this. Yeah, no pun intended. They're rushing forward towards this. So even though this is fun, lighthearted moments, there's a lot of, it is moving rather quickly. So, you know, we already seen the president of Goha, rush will spread everywhere, and now we see the rival character most likely, or whoever this mystery character is. So they're definitely like hinting at more stuff coming really soon. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, this episode was really good. It was animated very well. It looked very gorgeous at certain parts. It was very nice to see kind of the Yu-Gi-Oh style a little bit again. It's still 7 style, obviously. It's still with the new studio, but some of the shading and the ways some of the poses were drawn were very Yu-Gi-Oh like, which was really cool to see. It was a very nice treat. We definitely won't be seeing that all the time, but every once in a blue when we see it, it'll be very nice, hopefully. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys like Roman? Did you like her character? Did you like her backstory? Do you think she's still lying? Do you think she's still hiding something? Or do you think she's completely innocent? I'm still kind of mixed, honestly. I think everything she said felt genuine, completely. But at the same time, I don't know why she's still taking these photos that wasn't explained. I don't know. She's still a little suspicious. She seems still a little too curious about certain things. So maybe there's another reason why she's doing it. I don't know. So I'm still 50-50. I'm still unsure whether she's a spy or not, or if she's just doing her own thing. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. God bless you guys. See you guys in the next video. Gotcha!